you suffer from chronic CFED or can't focus energy drain? Try over-the-counter Vibrant. One tablet contains the same caffeine as a cup of coffee, but without the calories or coffee breath. Vibrant. Caffeine, not coffee. Taking Vibrant may result in a lack of drowsiness, improved productivity, and better cash flow from decreased coffee spending. Unexpected job promotions have been associated with Vibrant. Vibrant may decrease the urge to zone out, doze off, or exhibit signs of slacking. All jokes aside, always read the label, take only as directed, and limit caffeine as it may cause real side effects. Not for children under age 12.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
You are tuning in to a Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Quantum Path Radio Show with Dennis Andersen. Dennis is a psychic medium, a hypnotist, and spiritual teacher. He has had a gift to perceive the subtle energies from an early age, turning off the gift at the age of 20 to live life, love, and understand human behavior. To have it reawaken again during his late 30s due to a calling that was loud and needed to be answered, Dennis was urged by Spirit to learn more, grow more, and share his gifts that others can benefit by exploring their own unique abilities. Call in now if you would like to speak to Dennis. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 so that you can get into the host queue.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Quantum Path Radio Show. And as stated, yes, my name is Dennis Andersen, and I am here to, elucidate, illuminate, and prognosticate. Oh, God. I'm starting to lose it, I think. Anyway, it's December 4th today, and I hope everyone had a good week over this past week anyway. Let's be prepared for, let's put it this way. We just had, let's call it the super moon, the super full moon, the only one of this year, I think it was anyway, which, let's put it this way, does bring through a lot of weird and interesting energies, I guess you could say. But to top it all off, I think it's starting either today or tomorrow. I think it's today, though. We actually have a Mercury retrograde again. So that will have a tendency to throw people off once again. And let's put it this way. You know what? We just have to kind of keep moving through it and moving on with it. Be gentle on yourself. Like, don't push yourself or anything like that for the next couple of weeks. It is supposed to go until December 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. So just before Christmas. So, like I said, like with Mercury retrogrades, you just got to take it easy on yourself. You know, like you don't want to go out there and start, like overthinking things or overanalyzing. You want to be able to, like, if your body is kind of telling you to, hey, you know what, let's just stay in bed for another few minutes. Well, maybe that's okay to do that. But these are good times, though, for self-reflection as well. And especially too at this time of year, like we, as people, we do like to look back in our past, and we do want to, I guess you could say, reflect upon all the things that maybe we have done, maybe some of the mistakes we've made, or maybe some of the successes we have. But now is the time, though, to take a look into, like, okay, what do we want to do for 2018? And I don't mean the typical New Year's resolutions or anything like that of, like, oh, I got to go out there to the gym every day and lose weight and do all these grand schemes or anything like that. Because let's put it this way, as soon as, like we join the gyms, we start to eat better or whatever it is, and then what ends up happening, we lose track of that after maybe a week or 2 weeks or whatever, then basically everything kind of goes out the window again. So the thing is that what you want to do, though, is create even within yourself. And I've been kind of exploring this even for myself, even for that matter, is things called micro habits. Okay, so with a micro habit, basically what you're doing is you're actually taking something that you really wanted to accomplish. So for some people, yes, it's, let's say going to the gym for an hour every day or an hour and a half or whatever. Well, motivation is great to a large extent, but it only lasts for so long. I don't know if you've ever heard about them, but there used to be these, what would be called these revival ministries or whatever that would occur where, like a minister or whatever, he would set up a tent or whatever, and you would create this what was called like a revival, and there would be a lot of let's say with the preaching, it was very excited, lots of singing, maybe even dancing or something like that, but it was very excited. And even if you look at people, let's say like Tony Robbins, like he gets you up and he gets you moving, he gets you, like, pumped up and excited. But the thing is that what typically ends up happening is that a person will start to ease up afterwards. Like it's hard to maintain that strength of motivation. So I guess you could say there's almost a relationship between motivation and the willpower. Okay, like there's the more motivation you have, the less willpower you need. But the less motivation you have, the more willpower you need. So it's kind of like an inverse proportion there in regards to how things work. So a lot of it, what it comes down to, though, like, okay, just as a personal story, 17 years ago, actually be 18, starting January 1st, I actually quit smoking. And I did it cold turkey, one shot, and that was the thing. Even though that years before, I did quit on and off, sort of thing, but I always went back to it. But in my mind, though, that year, my motivation wasn't really that important, but I guess you could say the willpower that I had within me was very strong at that point, where I wanted to make the change for myself, for my lungs, for everything else that kind of was affected by smoking. So I made that change, and I said to myself, that's it, done. Like I'm no longer having any more cigarettes. So I ended up throwing away the package at that time, where I finished them off. I can't even remember anymore now. It was so long ago. But the thing is that I let it go, and I did quit. And I haven't looked back. So the thing is that it's good to have the motivation, and sometimes there's a mix that has to happen. Motivation along with the willpower. And that's where the micro habits come in. So let's say, for example, with some people, like let's say and once again, I use myself as an example here. For me, it's a matter of, let's say, because I want to go to the gym and I want to start working out more, and I want to start, getting into a habit of doing more physical exercise. Yes, I do go out for my walks every day or every other day, which is nice, but I need something more. And it's kind of like even my own body is kind of telling me, like, oh, you need to do more. You got to start changing, releasing some old stuff. So what I started doing then was, as a habit every day, I will start doing, let's say, for example, when I first get up, I'll do 10 push-ups, just to get myself moving and get myself that little bit of exercise, just so that this way it gets me thinking about it. Now, a lot of people or a lot of you out there are probably going like, 10 push-ups, well, that's nothing. In a lot of ways, no, it's not. It really isn't anything. But the thing is, though, is I am now rewiring my brain that little bit to focus, I guess you could say, on a healthier outcome. When I do those 10 push-ups, I am creating a success within myself that I am actually seeing or that I'm actually realizing. See, that's the thing here. Our minds create or need those successes so that this way, and it's like anything, and you can even take it to the macrocosm as well of let's say, technology or something like that, or science or any type of field. When we have success, like I said, there's something that triggers in our brain that creates a new neural pathway. So in other words, what it's doing is success, it sparks a new neural pathway for success, and therefore it'll keep building upon that. Now, any habit, and this, like out of, I can't even remember what it was out of. It could have been Psychology Today or something like that I read. But the thing is that any habit requires time to be built upon something else. So I know a lot of people would say, like, oh, it takes 21 days to build a new habit, or 30 days to build a new habit. Well, it all depends on the habit. Some habits, if you're, let's put it this way, are very motivated, it doesn't take long at all. It may only take 2 or 3 days. Whereas it could be something where, let's say, for example, like myself, I'm building up the habit of going to the gym more often on a very consistent basis. I need to start building up that habit over and over again, and that may take possibly months. But eventually the success will come. Okay, and that's the thing. But you have to build up those neural pathways. And like I said, even on a macrocosm, like when we look at the world in many ways, look at science from the past. Now, Einstein, he created, let's say, for example, the whole theory of relativity and theory of special relativity, and the whole E equals MC squared thing, which is fantastic. And next thing you know, we have string theory. But where did that come from? Well, that came from the works of, let's say, for example, Isaac Newton, who developed his own mathematical formula in regards to things like gravity and acceleration. And then from Newton, it kind of went to, if I'm not mistaken, who was it? Oh boy, there's numerous ones. But there was like guys like Max Planck, Heisenberg, all those people that kind of built upon basis of something. So once again, there's a strengthening, I guess you could say, of the consciousness or the neural pathway of the world for that success of achieving something. So after Einstein, there was numerous other ones, and once again, the more famous one is let's say, for example, like not Sheldon Cooper off of the Big Bang Theory, but you get oh my goodness, what's his name now? That other physicist that has ALS. Roz, if you know him, Google it for me. I can't remember his name now. Stephen Hawking. Sorry, that's it. So I beat you to it, Roz. But anyway, Stephen Hawking, he took those theories and so forth, and once again, he built upon them, and next thing you know, he developed another theory of something bigger, something more. And that's where things like quantum theory started coming about more and more often. Yes, it started off with, let's say, for example, Einstein, but it started developing and growing even more. And now we're starting to realize, I guess you could say, the knowledge that's starting to develop within, I guess you could say, within the world. You can even look at, let's say, even within technology too. The iPhone, let's say, for example, like everybody says, like, oh, what's his name? Not Bill Gates, but the other guy. My goodness, my head is just not good today with people's names. I think I'm starting to lose it anyway. Either that or too many gingerbread cookies that I had earlier. Steve Jobs, thank you very much, Roz. I appreciate that. Nice to see you're on the ball there. So anyway, you get Steve Jobs with the Apple iPhone. A lot of that technology and actually some of the ideas were actually came from things, let's say, for example, like the Palm Pre, I should say, smarter phones like that, or even, let's say, even with the BlackBerry, because he looked at them and he kind of goes like, I think I can do better. And that's what he did, and that's typically what ends up happening with technology is that there's a base idea, but we grow from it. And now as we start to look at it from even within ourselves, within yourself, like you look at the experiences that you've had in your life and look at some of the, let's say, for example, yes, some of the mistakes and some of the wins that you've had, but build on them. Okay, and that's the thing here. If you can start to build upon your successes and your mistakes, because those are just successes that just didn't quite work out, but look at them and build upon them, adapt them, change them, grow them a little bit more. And then all of a sudden you're going to start to grow and develop in ways that you've probably never even imagined. And that's the thing there with a lot of people that have had success in the past. And that's why, in a lot of ways, like even myself, okay, like as a psychic or as a medium, okay, like yes, I've had certain things ever since I was a kid. I was seeing faces coming out of the walls. I was seeing faces, out of the ceilings, and I was seeing auras around people and all that fun stuff. But I turned it off. And I turned it off when I hit 20. And it was just mainly because of the fact that, at that time, yes, I got involved with, dating and all that fun stuff that went along with it. But I also was working. I had my ups and downs. I experienced a lot of the world, and that was the thing. Like, I experienced love, I experienced relationships, I experienced work, I experienced hard times, good times, connection with others. And when I did that, though, like, it gave me a wealth of knowledge that I could take within myself. And in turn, that's what I do when I try to help somebody when they're sitting across the table from me or from across the computer screen, even if I do an online reading for somebody. And that's the thing here, like you got to have those experiences. And you got to have that, yes, there's certain things that you're going to learn through school, and I'm not against book, like let's say, for example, in regards to university or anything like that, I'm totally, all for that because there's something in that knowledge that is required too. But when it comes to human experience, you can't be a part of it unless you actually experience it. And it's hard to feel the energy of something unless you have witnessed it or experienced it in your past. So what I am trying to get at here anyway is allow yourself to experience as much as possible. And that's when I look at, let's say, for example, a lot of these younger psychics and mediums coming up, and which is fine, like, hey, some of them are very good and very talented, and some of them, yes, they're on TV and so forth. But I do question, I guess you could say, their own experience. Because I don't think, like for some of them, I don't think they've lived enough yet to accurately convey what the feeling is. And if I'm wrong, or if I am, let's put it this way, if I'm always welcome to open to other opinions. And once again, these are my opinions, okay? And that's the thing here. These are my opinions. But I do feel, though, that your own experience is just going to be providing a richer an understanding of a person across from you. And that is what I try to teach people when I do the psychic development, because of the fact, though, that to read as much, to learn as much, to go out there, to share themselves with friends, and when you do that, like I said, you're learning the energies. You're learning the energies of others and of people. Even in the written word, you're learning something from that as well. And there's so much to be learned. And there's so much more that we're going to end up having to learn, and that's why it takes multiple lifetimes to do all of this, because you can't just do it all in one shot, as much as we like to think. But it takes numerous lifetimes, and who knows what I'll come back again next time around, sort of thing, because it's a process, and that's the thing here. It is a process. So, on that happy note, anyway, if you are interested in a reading with me, you can reach me through my website at dennisjandersen.com, or you can reach me by phone at 647-949-1429 on my off hours or away from the show here, or you can reach me on the show right now at 713-955-0594. And I do welcome you all to join me as well, like on Facebook. Feel free to connect with me on there at Dennis J. Andersen, because, hey, I can always use some extra friends. But the thing is that I do, like I said, showing other people, teaching, this is my passion. This is what I love to do, because as you develop and as you grow, you'll find that it's not so much about the readings anymore, but it's actually your own understanding more so of who you are. And when I have a reading, whether it be mediumistically or whatever with anyone, it teaches me. It shows me a little something of myself too, something that maybe I need to be aware of. And that's the thing here. It allows me to have some self-reflection too, and that's the beauty of being what if you want to call it, a light worker, a healer, or whatever. That is the beauty of this. It allows you to go into yourself and figure yourself out, and hopefully come out on the other end that much better. So, I guess accordingly, I already have a caller. So, if Roz could put through 650, please, that would be fantastic, please.
Hi, Dennis. Thank you so much for taking my call. I enjoyed listening to you, and I love your opening, the word you use, prognosticate. That's a fancy word.
Yeah, well, I don't know where I heard that one from, but that one just kind of popped into my head, so I thought, well, what the hey, let's do my prognostications. So, and anyway, I'm sorry, your name is?
It's Miranda. I listen to your shows, and I've called in, and I am wanting some prognostication from you. So Yeah, so I am actually considering a move. I'm currently in the West Coast, and I'm considering a move to the East Coast. And no time rush as such, but I've seen a couple of homes online that I'm interested in, and I'm just wondering what your thoughts are. One is an older home, and one is new construction. And just what do you think I'd be happier in?
Actually, Okay, the first thing that actually, like when you mentioned it, as you were saying, like about the older home and the newer home, the first thing that actually opened up for me actually is that yes, you would be a little bit more settled, I guess you could say, in the older home. Which is interesting because sometimes with the newer homes, it's kind of like, okay, you walk in and it's done. And you don't have to worry about it for, let's say, 10 years. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right, and this is an older home. I'm not
it is an older home.
Yeah, so, like, I'm torn. Like, do I want the security of a nice new construction where everything is clean and neat, or do I want something older where there may be a risk of, like, upkeep and all of that?
Well, what I am getting those is that it almost feels as if you're going to be happier with the older place because it has more character. Okay, and that's what I'm kind of getting from this is that it feels like it has more character to it, or that it's a little bit more unique as compared to, let's say, the newer homes, which are a little bit more cookie cutter-ish sort of thing. So with the character and the house that goes along with that, what I am, although it feels good, okay, and that's the thing here, I am feeling like it feels good. I don't think you're going to have any issues. But what I am wanting to say, though, is yes, like make certain that you get your home inspections, do a good job on those. So that this way, like the typical things like the roofing and like if it's 50 years old, all depending on the state and whatever, depending on, various codes that they had at that time, but there could be, let's say, aluminum wiring, let's say electrically. So those are all things that you kind of want to rest your mind or put at ease, okay, so that, but like I said, for some sort of reason, it's just the older home feels better. And it just feels like you would actually you'll feel more at home in some ways. Although there are things there that are drawing you to the new one. And like you say, but you still have to be careful of those too sometimes, because sometimes builders do like to take shortcuts now.
Shortcuts,
as compared to what they used to before. I'm still getting with the older home.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I think the thing that really, you're right, the older home has far more character, although the newer construction is
it just feels more homey to me. And I don't know why. Yeah, and I don't know why I want to say that. It just feels like the warmth is there, the hominess is there, where you could actually settle in, and it almost feels like you can kind of snuggle into it almost. It's like a warm blanket on a cold day.
That's important. Your home should snuggle you. You should feel, it wraps you up. I agree with that. I think one thing was bugging me. I'd probably get in the master bedroom. It's a tiny bathroom, and that turned me up.
I understand, but that is something, though.
Yeah.
But those are things, though, that can be, adjusted and changed here and there, depending on the house and its layout, I guess you could say. But those are things that, but sometimes you can keep that in mind, too. And let's put it this way as well, landscaping, that's already, pretty much already there. You don't have to worry about that.
Correct.
There's things there, but it just feels better. I don't know why I want to say that, but it just feels better. Even though logically in my mind I'm kind of going like, it's always nicer with the new one, but... Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dennis.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
I'm sure you'll be hearing from me again, I'm sure. Thank you so much.
Well, I'd love to hear it. Thank you. You too.
Yeah, and I'll let you know how it goes ultimately, what I decide.
Yeah, well, it's a big move going on coast to
You know,
coast.
it is. Oh, yeah, so in keeping with that, do you see like a time frame when this is all going to get wrapped up, or will there be delays, or it's going to be smooth?
Actually, like if it's with the older place, it feels smooth. And actually, to be honest with you, it almost feels almost like within, like pretty much by March, like everything will be done and you're in there, sort of thing. That's what it feels like. Like it'll be like a 3-month sort of thing, 4 months almost.
Wow.
Okay.
Wonderful. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Have a
You're
good
very
evening.
welcome. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. I was prognosticating somewhat anyway. And the other thing, I did have some fun, though, the other day, like on Facebook or whatever, just because, like, I wanted to post something that was a little bit more, I guess you could say, just to get people thinking. And what I did actually end up posting, and you know, please forgive me if it offends anybody here or anything in the radio land here. But I said, is it Santa or Satan? Okay, and it's just basically just a letter jumble, and that's all it is, just a switching of one letter. And it's interesting because even when you think about the history of Santa or Santa Claus, I guess you could say, like it's a European thing in regards to Sinterklaas, if I'm not mistaken, and there's other, I guess you could say, kind of darker themes to Santa Claus. Now, people like, okay, let's go into some history here. Like, like you look at, let's say, for example, like Coca-Cola back in the 1900s. Some would say that, they're the ones that actually, brought about the new image, I guess you could say, of Santa, with him being, like with the jolly person or whatever it is, giving out the gifts and so forth, even though that was still a part of it. But they made it more commercialized. Now, I felt a little deeper into that. Like when you think about the commercialization of Christmas, and and I look at things, let's say, for example, like Black Friday that they have. I think it's usually during Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken, in the States. We don't really follow it too much up here. But the thing is, though, is let's say, for example, like when we start to look at why we get crazy on a day where, yes, there's lots of discounts, where we need to actually buy that, let's say, that large screen TV or something else at a huge discounted price. But I see the mobs, and I see people rushing to buy something. And when I see that, when people are actually getting hurt, and maybe you have witnessed it yourself even, but heaven knows I've seen enough, I guess you could say, YouTube videos and stuff like that where people are rushing in and there's actually fights breaking out over things like, back in the 80s it was Cabbage Patch Dolls and all that fun stuff. And when I see that, it really takes away, I guess you could say, the whole meaning and the understanding of what Christmas really actually is about. So over the next little while, I do hope that you do see that within yourselves. Yes, I do have a daughter that, I will try to, let's put it this way, give her the things that, she's looking for. Like, yes, she's asking for some really far out things there. Like, this iPhone 8 or something like that she's looking at me as, and I'm kind of going, yeah, that's not happening. because the thing is that she doesn't need it. And I want her to realize that that is just another item. Like it's not, that's not the importance. The importance is actually spending it with her family and with her friends, enjoying those times. A board game, sure. I'd be more than happy to share that, because those are times that you can share with another person. And that's something that I guess you could say with my mom, when she was still around and when I was a kid still living at home, she used to love Scrabble. Okay, and that was one of her favorite Sunday evening games. And Scrabble, and I don't know if you've ever played it or not, but let's put it this way, that's a 2.5 hour game, sort of thing, and it just takes forever, and it can be painful sometimes, especially when it's just the two of you, playing sort of thing. But, we put on the big pot of tea, there was always usually maybe a sandwich or something like that, because or some cookies, popcorn. Popcorn was my mom's favorite, so we would share a bowl of popcorn as we were, rattling the tiles back and forth trying to make words. But those are the times that I look back and I kind of go, I wish I had them again. And my mom is passed now, and I wish I could play another game of Scrabble with her now. Do I talk to my mom every day? Yeah, I still do. When she's in spirit, but there is a little bit of difference, though. There's a difference when you can't physically be around that person and to share in those, even those quiet times. So with yourselves, and I really do hope within yourselves anyways, that if you can, take a moment, even if it's a couple hours or a few minutes or whatever, just to connect. And for some of you, maybe it's a matter of reconnecting with the family member who you've lost contact with. And sometimes you need that, and sometimes when they're gone, you won't have that again until you see them in the afterlife, I guess you could say. But share, if you can, try to reconnect. And I know sometimes it can be painful, especially with family. Because family know your triggers, and maybe they've even caused some of those triggers. But the thing is that when you can reconnect and when you can connect with them, that is something that those are memories that you'll keep. And those are the experiences that, let's say, for example, my mom took with her into the afterlife. You can't take money, you can't take the cars, you can't take the TVs, but you can take the experiences and you can take the memories, because that's part of your energetic makeup, and that is part of your soul's energy. That's where things like the Akashic Records and all those things are held within. It's held within your energetic body, and that's what you take with you. You'll remember all those things. So, I guess I got a couple of callers here waiting. So let's get to 863 over in Florida, from what I understand.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Great.
And your name is?
How are you?
I'm doing very well. And your name, I'm sorry, is?
Julia.
Hi, Julia. So what can I do for you today?
Actually, similar to the last caller. It must be that time of year people are thinking about moving around.
Well, there's a few things, Lynn. There's lots of change this year. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of change, a lot of different things going on for a lot of people, and it's it's been a huge year, for many, and that's just because of energy shifts in many ways. But sometimes it's just a matter of sometimes you just want to get out and move across the country. Heaven knows I thought about it too sometimes.
Well, right now I'm living in the Central Florida area, and I'm thinking about moving up the eastern coast. I've had it recommended possibly South Carolina or North Carolina.
Okay.
And I've been trying to do research to figure it out, but it just,
Well, when you said South Carolina, something there struck a chord with me. And I don't know why, but South Carolina did feel better. Okay. Not certain why. I actually want to say is that it feels almost as if you're going to, there's things there for you that you kind of need. And it's almost like there's some connections that you'll make there, because I'm kind of feeling like there is some connections there. I almost want to say is that there's almost a feeling of, Are you looking towards the coast side of things, or are you actually going more inland?
That's another part of it is I keep flip-flopping back and forth. I like the idea of the coast because I'm drawn to the water. I like being where I can see the water, go to the beach.
Yes.
But then there's inland to, it's south of Charlotte, which is North Carolina. But it's just, that's part of the problem with I'm trying to narrow it down, and I'm really, like I said, I'm flip-flopping. So
well, I am getting the feel of it's better for you to be close, maybe not right on the water, but let's put it this way, closer to the water, because of the fact that when I feel that, it just feels like that water connection is very strong for you, and it just feels like there's something healing in the waters around there that are going to be actually very good for you. Now, water is very symbolic of things like emotions and stuff like that as well. So there could be it just feels like you have a really strong connection that is there, and that would be more beneficial to you in the long run. So if you can, be a little closer to the water, that would not be a bad thing. I'm not really familiar with some of the cities and towns up and around North and South Carolina, but I am still feeling around South Carolina and in and around I guess you could say, the major cities around there that are closer to the water. The only one that I know of, and that's just because of a golf thing more so than anything, is Myrtle Beach. But maybe not necessarily Myrtle Beach, but it does feel somewhere in that general area. Okay. But the water feels good, and it feels like it's a very healing thing for you, more so than anything. Okay?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, there's area that I was looking at is just a little further south. It's called Charleston, South Carolina. Does that?
Oh, okay. That feels good.
That
yeah. Actually, you know what? I am kind of curious. It feels good when you say that. Let me put it to you that way, because of the fact that that actually feels good. And if it's a little further south of Charleston, and you got Savannah there too, which is even further south than that.
Yeah,
okay.
That goes into Georgia.
Georgia, yeah. But yes, in and around, yes. Yeah, actually that's good. Yeah, the southern part of Charleston, yes, that's what I'm feeling here. Good. Go for that. That feels good.
Okay.
If there's something there, go for that. It just, something tells me that you got to be around the water. I don't know what it is, but there's a healing thing in and around the water for you. I don't know why.
I don't know what it is about the water too. I've just always been drawn to it. I can just go and like sit where I can see it, and it's like, that peace and calm.
Yeah,
very,
because it just feels like you need that
place.
peace, and that's the thing. You need that relaxation. You need that peace within you, and for some sort of reason, I'm just getting that there's healing involved there for you. Because it just, I almost want to say...
Starting over. This is me starting over, like rebooting my life, basically. So it's like everything is changing.
And that's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you on that. It is not easy, but I do feel, though, that it will be a good thing for you in the long run. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
Whew. Okay. It's just those big life changes. I'm middle-aged, I'm mid-50s, and it's just, it's a big step. It's like, I feel like it's not a step, it's a leap. It's just,
well, and I understand. Yeah, no, and I get you, but let's put it this way. A lot of people have made big leaps, even people that were older than you. Look at Colonel Sanders. He didn't sell his first thing of chicken until he was like 65. So, and right up till that point, he wasn't. Well, up to that point, he was not doing very well. He was, hand to mouth sort of thing. But after that, that's when the big life change happened, and next thing you know, poof, the rest is history. Okay, so don't think that you're ever, don't think it's at the tail end of things, because it really isn't for you. I just feel that there's going to be some great things there for you. It just feels right to me. I don't know why I want to say that, but it feels right. Okay?
I like that. Thank you for that confirmation. I really appreciate that. It's weird that you just need that little, boost of confidence, or, that, hey, everything's going to be okay, it's going to work out. So
they always do,
I guess.
Well, yeah, but you have to believe within it yourself too, and go for it. And the next thing you know, it does work out. But it's set those, those intentions, and the next thing you know, things will work out. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay.
Right. Good night.
You have yourself a wonderful night, too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Okay, 8:47, and we only got basically another 13 minutes left. So let's get another caller out of the way here. How about caller 216, please, Roz? That would be great.
Hello?
Hi. How are you?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
I just turned my volume up. Hello. Happy holidays.
And same to you.
I know. Wonderful.
And your name is? I'm sorry, I didn't...
My name is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. So what can I do for you today?
Well, I was wondering, I am still interviewing. I still haven't gotten an offer at a job, and I wonder if you see me getting an offer soon.
Okay. Well,
I have an interview Wednesday.
Okay.
But I do know there was one I turned down. It wasn't... But what do you see? Do you see me finally getting an offer, an acceptance?
Okay. It feels like you've been waiting quite a while. Let me put it to you that way. And yes, I do feel some there's some really good things coming here. Like I'm even putting out a few of the cards sort of thing as well.
This has been all year. I know. I have a job, so it's not like okay. So just to let you know that. I'm trying to change careers. Yep.
I do feel that it's coming, although it does feel like, yes, it is, like it's kind of slow in coming. But because the energy behind it is very, like when I get, let's say, for example, like the Prince of Cups and stuff like that, it's kind of telling me that, we're going to take our time, sort of thing. And it's almost as if there's, like I said, it's just kind of like start, stop sort of feel to it almost. So the thing is, though, is I am getting that you are going to be getting something. I do feel that. The cards are telling me that. I'm getting good, happy cards here. I'm getting you, like, actually, getting the offer. I'm seeing you actually, accepting it, and where it's actually going to be working out very much in your favor. And I'm actually getting money here, too, for you. So it's almost like there's going to be a little bit more money involved as well.
Okay.
But just keep, just keep focusing your intentions, okay?
Oh, gosh, I do every day. Can you pick up a timing on that at all? I know that's kind of hard.
Well, I'm getting where it's going to be soon. Like, it feels like I want to stay this month.
Because I have an interview tomorrow or Wednesday. I have one Wednesday.
Okay. Because I do feel like something is going to happen this month.
Okay.
Now, I do want to say, though, is that there is going to be a little bit of, once you do the interview, it's going to be kind of like, let's put it this way, a little bit of delay.
Delay?
Just
the holidays.
And that could be it, because there's, it just feels like they don't want to make too many commitments by the end of the year.
Okay.
So, but it does feel like there's going to be things kind of implemented or kind of mentioned to you that, okay, starting in January or whatever, that, we'll get the ball rolling. And that's what it feels like to me. Okay.
Okay.
So I am getting good things with the cards here, and they're kind of telling me that you're going to be getting something. It feels good, and it feels like there's going to be a little bit more, possibly some more money involved as well. Okay.
That's nice too. Oh gosh, because I've been working a lot of overtime for Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, and, I guess I got one more caller after this. So let's see if we can skip it in underneath the 9 o'clock mark here. So if I can get 484, please, that would be great.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi there. Thank you so much for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime. And who am I talking to?
My name is Tonetta.
Tonetta, okay. Well, what can I do for you today, Tonetta?
Well, I really need to know what's going to go on here with me and Desiree. I need to know if there's going to be a reconnection. I need to know if she's going to move into my Oak Street residence where I'm living. I just need to know what's going to go on here.
Okay, well, let me just give the cards a quick shuffle as I kind of tune into her. And
Okay.
Well, let's put it this way. I am kind of getting that there's... Oh, boy. Desiree feels like she's kind of weighing things out for some sort of reason, like she's indecisive, is what I'm kind of feeling. There's things involved with her that are kind of holding her back. I don't want to say she's deceitful, but I do want to say is that you do have to be careful of the things that she says. Okay, because I don't want her, because now is this something that you're renting out to her or possibly renting out to her?
Wait, what's that? You broke up. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, that's okay. Is this something that she's going to be renting off of you? Like, are you...
No. We had a falling out in early July.
Oh, you're kind of breaking up on me.
Okay, can you...
Okay. Well, if you can't... Okay, well... Okay, what I am getting, though, okay, is, like, and I know that you're breaking up on me, and if you can still hear me, let me put it to you this way. I am getting that she is, like I said, there's some indecisiveness here. I do feel that there is a little bit of, I don't want to call it deception or whatever, but I do want to say, though, is that she is kind of maybe holding things back information-wise with you. And because of that, it's almost like you have to make certain that you're weighing the pros and cons here. Like, be very careful in regards to any living arrangement that you have. But keep an eye out, and if use your own intuition too to kind of feel the situation as well. Because I am kind of getting, let's put it this way, like I said, indecisiveness, and it almost feels as if there's a little bit of something there, because I'm not totally comfortable. Let me put it to you this way: with her moving in, something just doesn't feel quite right to me. But once again, that's your choice on how you handle it. So, please keep that in mind. So anyway, thank you very much for calling, and I hope you will listen to this message afterwards, even during the replay or whatever. And thank you very much for calling. And for all of you out there, I know that we only got basically, from the looks of it, 4 minutes left. And we got through all of our callers, which is great. I'm glad to see that. And I like I said, if you can over the next little while, just kind of focus on your own personal relationships within your own family or within your own friends. Sometimes it's good to reopen certain things. Just as a side note, actually, I did a reading for a lovely older lady just last week, actually, for that matter. She came to me because she wanted me to connect with, both her father and her mother I ended up connecting with. The mother, though, and the interesting thing is that when you're connecting to spirit, you're actually feeling, I guess you could say, a lot of the energy of that person that was there. Not just how they were physically, but also mentally and so forth. Now, as she passed or whatever, there was, let's put it this way, I did feel that there was problems with the will, that there was issues with it, that, things were contested, changed, and whatever, opened, all those things that kind of happen along with it. And the thing is that the one that passed over, the mother, let's put it this way, I was getting that she was upset, okay, and that's the thing there, that, she wanted the family to be together, to maintain those connections, even though that the one sister who took advantage, I guess you could say, of the mother in her later years, kind of shunned the rest of the family. So, like I said, it really makes you think, when that kind of stuff comes up. And it almost breaks your heart. And I'm kind of hoping, like, for those of you out there that are listening to this, is to reconnect. You may not be able to fix it, if there was an issue. And I'm not saying that you ever will. But what I am kind of saying, though, is that, if you can make an effort and try, even just for a little bit of a reconnection, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but sometimes when you do it, it'll make you feel like, okay, I've moved forward. I've forgiven, I forgot, I've moved forward, and therefore you can go into your next lifetime with a clean sense of purpose, I guess you could say. Like I said, not everything is going to be perfect. It's not supposed to be. But if you can release it and if you can let it go, you'll be that much richer for it. And I don't mean money-wise, and I do mean soul-wise. So on that note, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. I am grateful for all the callers that did call in today. And once again, I hope to see you again next week. And please have yourself a great week. And like I said, work on those micro habits. If you want to change something, just start off small. Build up those little success patterns within yourself, and the world is your oyster. So have yourself a wonderful week, and bye-bye.
Yo, everybody get up! Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group, just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost the sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.